If the pen is mightier than the sword, who would be willing to wield it against a great wrong? Consequences be damned.
I do not believe that multiplying a wrong by any number makes it right.
Newspaperman R.C. Hoiles was a fierce individualist. He wasn't intimidated by prevailing opinion. He wasn't impressed by power. Neither were his newspapers. Through the editorial pages of the Orange County Register, Hoiles took aim at some of the greatest injustices of his time, armed with nothing but words, conviction, and a stubborn refusal to look away.
Today, too many newspapers are afraid of offending somebody and losing $1 by taking an unpopular position.
Hoiles believed journalism wasn't supposed to be comfortable. It was supposed to be honest. His editorials stood for personal liberty, human dignity, and basic decency, even when those positions were deeply unpopular. And in the early 1940s, unpopularity was the point. On December 7, 1941, the Empire of Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, killing 2,403 Americans. Fear followed, anger followed, and suspicion fell hardest on Americans of Japanese descent, many of them citizens, many of them lifelong Californians. Just weeks later, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066. Under the banner of national security, more than 120,000 Japanese Americans and Japanese nationals were forcibly removed from their homes and imprisoned in 10 internment camps. Families were allowed to bring only what they could carry. Homes were abandoned. Businesses were sold for pennies or lost entirely.
When the gates were shut, we knew that we had lost something that was very precious, that we were no longer free.
Across the country, newspapers largely cheered the policy. The Los Angeles Times editorial declared, "A viper is nonetheless a viper wherever the egg is hatched." Hoiles read that and said, no. At a time when dissent was dangerous, R.C. Hoiles became one of the only newspaper publishers in America to publicly condemn the internment camps. He wrote,
It would seem that convicting people of disloyalty to our country without having specific evidence against them is too foreign to our way of life and too close akin to the kind of government we are fighting.
That wasn't hindsight. That was courage in real time. And he didn't stop there. Later, Hoiles condemned school segregation in California, calling out segregationist school board members as driven by what he labeled un-American, un-Christian desires. Not fashionable words, not safe words, but necessary ones. R.C. Hoiles believed newspapers should do more than turn a profit. They should challenge power. They should defend liberty. They should tell the truth, even when it costs readers, advertisers, and friends, especially then.
If there is anything a man of integrity should want to learn, it is whether what he is doing is in harmony and consistent with what he says he believes.
Hoiles passed that test, and in an age of outrage, algorithms, and carefully calculated silence, his example still matters. Because freedom doesn't defend itself. It needs voices willing to say the unpopular thing, clearly, calmly, and without apology.